So we are obviously drawing out the inevitable here. I believe a former San Jose Shark is going to make the official announcement of Macklin Celebrini joining the team. Now, my career, I'm sure the league said, hey, give us a couple minutes to milk this a little bit. The sweater heads to the stage. And the San Jose Sharks.
The pick is in.
First pick of the 2024 draft.
They probably have the easiest choice of anybody.
Yeah, of course.
I'd like to thank our great fans here and around the world. And a big shout out to our draft party at the Shark Tank. We really appreciate your guys' support. And I'd also like to congratulate Glenn Sather on her terrific career in hockey.
Oh, Sather is not.
Yeah, he's retired.
Where was he? He was
The
in
Rangers.
One of the greatest
I
passes
mean,
of all time.
most recently.
The Rangers.
Former #1 overall pick and Sharks great Joe Thornton.
Oh, Joe Thornton.
What did they say about him?
That he's gonna announce the pick.
Oh.
The former #1 overall pick.
Here we go. With the first overall selection in the 2024 NHL Draft, the San Jose Sharks are very proud to select from Boston University, Macklin Celebrini.
Celebrini.
Thornton is retired.
Yeah.
And we knew that.
Mom Robin. Return of the Mac to Northern California. Born in Vancouver. His dad right there, Rich, as Emily mentioned, got a job
Wow,
at Golden
Thornton's
State.
beard really got white.
Well, he's getting old.
Yeah, but the last time I saw him play wasn't that long ago. I mean,
Yeah.
when did he retire?
2 years ago.
49 goals and 45 assists in his 1 year there with the San Jose Junior Sharks under 14 teams. Only season in the program. He then went on to Shattuck St. Mary for a couple of years, Chicago Steel, USHL, last season at Boston University, and now he's drafted #1 overall by the San Jose Sharks, and his jacket is taken off by a showgirl.
Living the dream.
Macklin Celebrini is a San Jose Shark.
Congrats to him and his family. What a moment. It's great stuff. Great stuff for him, the family, and of course for the San Jose Sharks organization. Right on
The
cue.
Sharks fans are really
Are
happy.
celebrating for
Yep.
Celebrini.
Exactly.
Second overall 3 times.
Especially that one Sharks fan.
Yeah.
And for the first time, picking #1. That's
I hope we get to hear this guy for the whole draft.
So what are the San Jose Sharks? What are the attributes, Megan Jacob, that he'll be bringing?
And what did you say was the name of that GM?
Mike Greer.
Greer?
Yeah.
Was he a player?
Yes.
All the toolkit. And for San Jose, that's a great player to have. They need to fill a lot of gaps. He's a great playmaker, creates space in and around. And
He's
the
a
first time I
center.
saw
Oh,
him,
that's
he made a
it says
blind
C
pass
right
from the
there.
Yeah, he is a centerman.
Didn't even know he was looking there. And the whole crowd gasped. That's the type of player that he is. He makes it look effortless, and he's really an engine that can drive San Jose both by the
Ledshunov?
side and on the power play.
Yeah, that's a projected second overall
Right.
pick.
They're going to be inactive in free agency. They've already been active on the trade market. Mike Greer is not giving out term contracts, just 1 to 4 years to free agents because they're not trying to get tied to something long term. They want to build this the right way, but it's going to be built through the draft, and he's going to come to the NHL next year. We will see.
There's the Sharks watch party.
They're very tough here at the Sharks block.
This has been a dormant franchise the last couple of years. You go to some of their games and we broadcast on ESPN Plus, and quite frankly, there's no atmosphere. This was an amazing atmosphere. You played there in the Sharks as an opponent, Kevin Weeks.
I love going to play the Shark Tank. You know that it would be electric in the atmosphere, and you get peppered with shots. So this guy is an engine, Macklin Celebrini. Every good organization has at least 1 or 2 engines in their lineup. He's one, and he'll be a big part of the transformation there.
And again, when you win the Hobie Baker, you see it translates to NHL success. Korea Hall of Famer. Makar's going to be a Hall of Famer. Iko and Fantilli, it's early, but they got a pretty good chance.
Celebrini won the
we'll see
Hobie
if
Baker?
Celebrini can join,
Yep.
these fellas who had just amazing success at a young age in college hockey. So Macklin Celebrini.
Other than Reezy, I think we have another guy who.
Begins his
I think Adam Fox.
Oh, was it Fox?
and there he
Okay.
is with also one thing about him, Megan, is that he's a finisher. He can score goals. He did in college hockey over 30.
And it's so tough to say one thing he's good at because he
What,
has sort of every element that you want in a hockey player.
What
He has
draft
that
pick
shot,
was Beasy?
he has great playmaking skills.
I don't
that
remember,
behind his teammates.
but we didn't
He's
draft
very
him.
No, I know, but
has a lot of possession,
I didn't
and
think
that
he was a
decision
Hobie
making, which I
Baker. I
think
was
speaks a lot
wondering
of
if he had
maturity. You were talking
a
about
very
his
high draft
family,
pick
his path to the
number.
NHL. All that plays well on the ice, very coachable, obviously understands his defensive responsibilities in and around the puck. I love that you made the Dylan Larkin
Will
comparison.
Smith doesn't
because
look like
everything I
Will
kept
Smith
hearing
to
about
me.
him is that he drags his teammates along with him. He's so competitive that he
Although
makes everyone
probably
around him.
did.
Which leads us to another team trying to come up from the basement of the NHL and rebuild this franchise. It's hard with
Coming
32
up from
teams
the
nowadays.
basement of the
Chicago
NHL.
Blackhawks.
Well, he's pretty much from the
Rookie
basement.
of the year yesterday.
Chicago
Did they
wants
take the
Demikov?
offensive
I
wizard
didn't
Demikov?
see that
Or is
name.
it Artem Levshunov, the ready-made, you'd think, or close to it?
The
Like
number
Donnie
2
and
person
Kyle
that they
Davidson heading
mentioned
to
was
the
not
stage.
Demikov.
So will it be Demidov or Levshunov? We shall find out as the Chicago Blackhawks with pick number 2.
First of all, I'd like to say hello to all of our great fans back at our draft party in Chicago at the barn. And to make our selection,
Oh, he's was the
2023
second one.
first
Okay.
overall pick and 2024 Calder Trophy winner, Connor Bedard.
Oh, Connor Bedard. Last year's #1 pick is going to announce the #2 pick for this year.
I guess Demidov, they would rather have a right wing than a defenseman.
With the second overall pick in the 2024 NHL Draft, the Chicago Blackhawks are proud to select Artem Levshunov.
Levshunov.
Today, Artie, the one-man party. The complete package of beast physically. Right-hand shot, Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, Freshman of the Year at Michigan State. 6'2", 200.
I think they said he's a defenseman. Yeah,
Yep.
there it
If
says
you're
it
up
right
one or
there.
down one, he could be on the ice. He's that kind of force.
That's right, and the confidence that he has from the coaching staff at Michigan State, and speaking to people in that program,
Oh, he
is
looks
they
very
can put him
tall.
on the ice against anybody at any time.
6'2".
Be in a rocking chair.
Oh, yeah,
You know
I
what
know.
you're going to get, the consistency,
I guess those other
the
people were
dependability,
short.
the reads, the size.
Or
Look
maybe
at-
both.
Look at his size already at this age.
Right.
Oh, from Belarus. They said he's the highest drafted Belarus player in history.
Not only
Belarus.
with the great players up front, but with the great Duncan Keith and others on the
Poor
back end.
Belarus.
I like this pick here.
Of course, last time they picked back-to-back in top 5, it was
They're
Taves
like
and Kane.
under the thumb
in the top 5, Megan Jacob.
of Russia.
When you think of size too, you don't necessarily think of skating, but
Right.
that's his focal
Yes.
point. He really
What did
uses
they
it
say?
offensively,
What did you say about
defensively,
Belarus?
breaking down
That he's the
plays,
highest drafted player
setting up
from
on the
there.
ice. It's really
Oh.
hard to get this type of defenseman in the open market. Kevin, is anyone trading for a defenseman?
Right.
Right? You have a #1 defenseman. You got to draft and develop.
right. Good point
It was
by
on the
you.
board, and Chicago just got Bedard last year.
Right.
So do they need that much more offense aspects like Demidov? I like
Levshunov.
I live in Chicago, so I feel like I
Artyom.
gotta talk to people back home. This kid's personality is
Is that how you
swaggy.
say
He's
it?
got
Do you
the
know?
I
right
think
mindset to
so.
fit right
Artyom?
into that city. He had him at the Stanley Cup final. He told me he grew up modeling his game after Cale Makar. That made me feel old personally. And I did talk to Kyle Davidson, their GM, this week, and he told me, yes, we still are in the rebuild, but we're ready to take that next step. And when it comes to
Is
free
Connor
agency, which
Bedard
opens on
short,
Monday,
or
they're
is
really
this
up to
guy
get
just?
contract
You said he's
confirmed. Nothing
6'2".
is
He
set
looks.
Yeah.
They're welcome to anyone that comes
Then
their way.
then Connor Bedard must not be very tall.
He's a little bit slow. No, this guy's quick and agile. He's got high-end.
Because that new guy looks
And he
like
really pushes
he's
the pace too.
several
My
inches
comparable
taller
is
at
actually
least
Vegas
than
Golden Knights Petrangelo.
Bedard.
So when you think of a
Yeah.
player like that,
Who is
that's
that
someone
woman
that you
that just
build a
got
Stanley
up?
Cup team
I don't
around.
know.
And they already have Connor Bedard too, so
Right.
they're kind of laughing at this point with 1 and 2. I mean, I hope not for my draft list, but like Demidov is my next best available in terms of skill sets, analytically, with their questions. And Emily, I think you know that Anaheim they need a lot. You had retool. I think this is a full rebuild for Anaheim. So
Oh, this
they have
is
the best
Anaheim's
available.
turn?
All right,
Yep.
here we go. Anaheim making their way to the stage with their sweater. Again, they got a lot of good collection of forwards. Will Pat Verbeek take another forward, or will he take a big defenseman on the back end? Here's the pick of the Ducks, 3rd overall.
We would like to dedicate our draft 2024 to Glenn Cochran and his family. Glenn fought his battle with cancer courageously. We will miss his character, his humor, positive attitude. Glenn was an integral part of our scouting staff, amateur scouting staff, for 17 years. He's one of the finest men I've ever met and will be greatly missed. Making our selection is former great and Anaheim Ducks captain Scott Niedermayer.
Oh, Scott Niedermayer.
Wow.
The Anaheim Ducks are proud to select from the Oshawa Generals, Beckett Seneca.
Man, this was not expected.
Ooh.
Certainly when the season began. Look at his man.
He looks, he's shocked. He's like, oh my God, what happened?
Read the lips. We're in Vegas. Read them.
That's one of the best reactions we've ever seen in a draft.
What number was he supposed to be according to the projections?
I think in the middle. I think.
The middle, like 5, 6, 7? Something?
No, I mean like outside the top 10.
Really? Wow.
Just a rising winger. I guess they see him as a 35-year kind of winger goal scorer.
That's exactly what they see him as. And some people have kind of compared him a little bit to Owen Tippett for the Philadelphia Flyers.
Okay.
A guy that can shoot, a guy that can score. And when you play in Oshawa, I know my parents live 20 minutes just south of Oshawa. When you play in Oshawa, you get scouts all the time because it's centrally located just outside of Toronto. You can see the shock on his face, but I talked
Yeah,
to people around
really.
the OHL
That was a
that were marveling
priceless
at his progression in the second half
expression
of the
on
season,
his
and then
face.
specifically in the
Yeah.
playoffs. He was clutch.
But which reaction is better? His reaction or Matt Rempe when he scored his first NHL goal?
2 years in the OHL, so maybe he needs to fill out a bit, but they see a lot of potential. Clearly, to take him this high, I am actually as shocked as him. This blew up my best available already. Roll in 3.
He's going to need to get in the weight room. Those shoulders got to be bigger to play in the NHL. Those mounts are too small for the NHL right now.
Yeah, he doesn't look like the way Eric Lindros looked when he played in Oshawa, and I know, because I used to go to the building there at the old Civic Center Arena to watch Big E. But Seneca gets to the spots, and he can finish. And I like your point about him growing this much. So here's the interesting thing. Sometimes when players grow that much and they have those growth spurts, their game can regress. Sure. Because they're off in terms of their coordination. The opposite is true here. It's almost as though he became more coordinated as he continued his growth spurt out.
So Kevin, I met up with Pat Verbeek yesterday, and I asked him, what is your philosophy for this number 3 pick? And he told me the philosophy is always the same.
Columbus
We're
is
looking for
next.
players with a high competitive drive, total gamers, but we're also looking for good skaters. And this kid, from everything I hear, is an explosive skater. And they're
This
trying
guy,
to build this thing with
Caden
identity. He told me
Dickinson?
last year was hard. We brought in a new coach with a completely new style. There was a culture shock for a lot of players. But as they got comfortable, I know who we are. And he told me they're ready to take that next big step this year. He's also trying to be active in the free agency market and for trades.
Does seem to have some pull-away speed, doesn't he, on some of those breakaways. There's Mom again. What a great reaction. Oh, my God. I was just thinking. So, obviously, he didn't see it coming.
Yeah, he didn't.
You wonder when Pat Verbeek, I can't
Wonder
wait to
if
get that
that's the
information.
dad.
When do you decide
Oh,
on
don't worry,
this
he's
stuff?
so loquacious. He'll tell you everything.
I mean, was it last night they decided to take it Seneca? But, boy, what a great...
On behalf of the Columbus Blue Jackets, we want to welcome our great fans. Fifth line back in Pins Mechanical joined the draft.
Oh,
That's Rick
This
Nash.
is our first
Oh,
overall
Nash.
pick. The only Columbus Blue Jacket player that's had his number retired. First round pick in the 2002 entry.
There we go.
This is Rick Nash.
Rick Nash.
Oh, his number was retired.
Yeah. And he was first overall.
With the 4th overall selection, the Columbus Blue Jackets are proud to select from the Medicine Hat Tigers, Caden Lindstrom.
Lindstrom.
Should we say it? He's all Ohio. He's all Ohio.
6'3" center. Can absolutely fly. Mean streak. Highly skilled. He can score. Missed the second half of the season due to separate hand and back injuries, Megan. What do you like about him? What can he bring to the NHL?
Well, maybe that makes some of them hesitate a bit, but in the offensive zone, he gets to the slot. He gets those dirty areas that you like to see players be in the NHL to contribute. I like him as like an Andre Kopitar comparison. Analytically, he does a lot. That goal scoring ability, quality shot release, allows him really to score from anywhere, which is really important in the
And
NHL.
he looks a bit similar to Keandre
I
Miller.
was thinking the same thing. Well, he has.
I'm not saying that just because he's black, but also the hair.
But he also has he's not all black. His mother is white.
Yeah, but also his hair.
There are
Oh,
some
yeah.
concerns about back issues that he has
Well,
had.
that's like
However, when he went to the
African
Commonwealth
American
Buffalo,
hair.
he
Yeah,
got
but
the
we've seen it from
Buffalo
Keandre Miller.
He did pull-ups, which obviously was a very good sign. And if you think of the Columbus Blue Jackets as an organization, one of their biggest chronic issues was the lack of center depth. And here now you might have
What?
They said they lacked center depth, so that's why they got him.
1, 2, 3, right down the middle. In Medicine Hat, up in Alberta.
I guess centerman is more important than Russians.
1.44. And this guy can impact the game in so many different ways. When you think about a guy like Sam Bennett and what he just did in the postseason.
Sam Bennett.
Oh, he won the gold medal in the Olinka Gretzky Cup.
He won the gold medal in what?
The Olinka Gretzky Cup.
Olinka?
Yeah.
What is Olinka?
Something.
Oh, Olinka is a place. Okay.
In Columbus.
Montreal Canadiens now on the
Poor
clock.
Demidov, he
Making
was second.
offensive
He
skill.
was supposed to be number 2,
Demidov
and
is
now
there
he's
if
already
they
up to
want
being
him.
5.
Yep.
Right winger, Russian, and they're now making their way to the podium as the Montreal Canadiens. Kent Hughes, their GM, hired in January of 2022. Of course, Marty St. Louis hired soon after
San
early
Louis.
February of 2022. Picking in the top 5 for the 3rd straight season.
Bonsoir, Las Vegas. Nous aimerions remercier nos partisans pour leur soutien. To make our 2024 first selection, I'm pleased to invite on stage our #1 fan, the one and only Celine Dion.
Oh, Celine Dion.
Wow. She's their #1 fan.
Wow. Is every pick gonna be announced by celebrities or former NHL greats?
She's the first celebrity. I would say celebrities would be a rare, that would be
But
unusual.
yeah, but this is what it's looking like. Every pick so far has been either chosen by former NHL greats, current NHL greats, or celebrities.
Well, that's because those greats were part of their management.
Well, Bedard wasn't part of management, and Joe Thornton isn't part of management. He was just a Sharks great.
Oh, so he's retired and he's not part of the Sharks anymore? Not even the management?
I don't know.
I'm excited.
Oh.
I didn't know how it came on. I'm excited et très fière d'être ici ce soir.
What?
She said it's freaking
With
French.
the 5th overall selection in the 2024 NHL Draft, the Montreal Canadiens are proud to select Ivan Demidov.
Demidov.
The most dramatic draft announcement of all time. Okay, there he is, the 6 foot, 190-pound Russian. He's dominated the Russian junior level, back-to-back MVPs up that level.
I'm surprised they didn't instantly started playing My Heart Will Go On.
Oh, that's her song?
Yeah.
Montreal saying merci to the Anaheim Ducks for not taking him. Because I don't think you want to leave him on the board and then him turn out to be an incredible elite offensive Russian that we know in this league. So, offensively skilled, puck possession, find space to make those plays, attack the middle of the ice.
This is going to shut up the haters of Demidov.
Why?
They'd be like, haha, you didn't get selected 2nd overall, you moved down to 5. He's like, I don't care. I was announced by the great Celine Dion. My heart will go on. You can never be drafted by Celine Dion.
organization at Dan Milstein's camp down in South Florida is what the Philadelphia Flyers have been able to
The guy
do.
who
The
came
Flyers
on
have been
with
able to
Celine
open that
Dion
gateway
as her
down in
husband.
Russia. They just got back. Mitch
I
got
don't
on his
know.
way over. They got the goalie last year for Dotov. So a lot of those relationships matter. And in opening those doors, you know now a lot of the teams are unafraid to select that.
And very similar vibes to Utah, right?
Correct.
Very offensively powerful. Don't want to pass it off or have them drop first.
The Utah Hockey Club. They'll make their debut in Salt Lake this fall. Brand new organization, no past at all. This will be their first pick in franchise history. There's no link at all to Arizona.
But they have a past. They were in Arizona. It's the same team, right?
What? Yeah, it was the team, but now it's Utah now.
But they still have a past. It's not like
Yeah.
It's not like a brand new team that had no past.
Yeah, it had a past. It had a past life.
New to hockey, but has already shown a ton of promise in how many tickets they've already sold.
They have 20 picks in the first 3 rounds of the next 3 drafts. Bill Armstrong, who comes from Arizona, their pick is in.
This is an historic pick since it's the Utah Hockey Club's first pick. On behalf of the NHL, we are delighted to welcome Ashley and Ryan Smith and the state of Utah to the National Hockey League. And by the way, it's Ryan's birthday. Happy birthday, Ryan.
We'd like to give a shout out to all our fans at the Delta Center. We can't express in words how pumped we are to play there in our first game. To make our first selection, Ryan and Ashley Smith.
Can't boo us, we haven't even done anything yet. I like it, let's go. Alright, we're super proud, we're honored to be here. We want to welcome everyone to Utah for many, many years to come. We're super proud for the first selection in our franchise's history. For 2024 draft, Utah selects
Tej Iginla.
Tej Iginla.
Jerome's boy is a Utah.
And Calgary is sad.
Dad went 11th overall in
Why?
1995.
Because the Flames wanted Iginla. He wants them to play with his dad.
Who helped Dallas when it comes 4.5 years later.
But his dad is retired.
Yeah, he's retired, but still, they want a father and son in the franchise.
6 goals and 12 points in 7 games. Again, Megan, a year ago, I don't think people saw him going this high. What happened?
I don't think so, but he's also such a great character. He has all of those offensive measures, like a Flip Forsberg, and the lineage is amazing, right? His dad is one of those players that is just the all-around encompassing of a hockey player. Shout out to his sister Jade, who also plays, but he really generates a lot of that offense. I actually saw him play in Helsinki at the U18s, and he jumped off the page of that tournament. So like maybe a bit of recency bias in terms of this pick, because his play was incredible. The gold medals game, he basically put the team on his back in terms of his goal-scoring abilities. Really that quality shot release allows him to score from anywhere and great decision-making too. Finding his teammate, able to create that vision and passing spaces, excellent decision-making with the puck on his stick, and able to push the pace with that puck carrying. So parachuting into this Utah team now, when they are creating a different culture, he's someone that knows hockey.
I love this pick.
He didn't even.
I'm bullish on the pick.
He didn't say anything.
Utah is the first pick in their midsection, of course.
Did I miss something?
No.
Did he even say thank you or anything?
What do you mean?
Iginla, when he went up there.
Well, he just went up and then he got that.
This kid is a fast riser.
But normally, don't they, I don't know, pose for a picture or
I think he has.
I must have missed it.
Top 15 duos. So the Ottawa Senators.
Jerome Iginla retired recently, right?
No.
How long?
A long time ago.
Like how long?
2018.
Oh, so 6 years. Okay.
Thank you, Vegas, for a great week with hospitality. I'd like to thank our fans back in the Ottawa-Gatineau community for their great support. Avec le 7e choix de premier tour, les Sénateurs sont fiers de sélectionner the Calgary Hitman of the WHL, Carter Yakimchuk.
There's a defenseman. Defenseman who scores 30 goals, that gets my attention.
Was he next on the list? According
I
to
don't
the
think
projections?
so.
Yakum what?
Yakimchuk.
Yakimchuk.
defenseman, but I can tell you this, on his big time draft year to put up 30 in Calgary,
So I
that's
guess
very
he's
impressive.
He's impressive too
Canadian.
because my NHL comparable is
Yeah, it
Jacob
is.
Chikrin,
Okay.
who we know Ottawa is shopping right now. So that, you know, real modern defenseman.
He's the
30
He has a
goals!
lot of lateral movement. He can skate, creates his own
He had
shot. So
30
maybe
goals?
Ottawa's thinking
Yeah.
we need to fill a gap here.
Wow.
They made that pick 'cause as you saw in my best available, there were so many defensemen that are above him, comparable to him, but there was something that stood out in that. And I think that offense that I was looking to curate is his calling card. There was a lot of interest in this number 7 pick, and I was told that the prices to get into, specifically the top 7 of this draft, were astronomical. I told you guys earlier about the people who were trying to get that number 4 pick from Columbus. They didn't think those prices were good enough. I'm texting people down on the draft floor, by the way, right now. Things are really quiet. It's not as much movement as we predicted, but as we talk about this Ottawa team, it's Steve Stais.
Yeah, they haven't made any announcements about
trades.
people trading their picks.
Well, not yet.
Pinjo's probably going to sign an extension. Thomas Chabot's not going to go. They are trying to shop Jacob Chikrin. A lot going on there, BC.
A lot going on there in Ottawa, and it's time to get some traction. They've got a really good pantry full of talented young players on the roster and some prospects coming, but it's time to get some traction for them now. They've got a lot of great fans. I played junior in Ottawa my last year. Very passionate. It's a great hockey market, but it's time to start taking this forward now.
Montreal, Boston, two great environments. And
So the
now we
people who are playing
focus
in
our
that
eyes
are
back
not
on the Seattle
playing for their
Kraken,
NHL
the
team,
eighth
they're playing for the
overall selection. Ron
country.
Francis has been
Country, but we have in the 4 nations instead of the All-Star.
An offensive defenseman who can electrify a team would be the pick for Ron Francis.
Their number 1 objective for their NHL club this year is to improve their offense. I don't know if Williams there next year, but they need to improve it next year.
So the Seattle Kraken, the pick is in.
To make the selection for the Seattle Kraken, I'd like to introduce Matty Beniers.
Ooh, Matty Beniers.
Was he a player for them?
Yeah, a number 2 overall pick. The first player drafted by Seattle.
Oh, so he is a player for them now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He is a player.
With the 8th overall pick in the 2024 draft, the Seattle Kraken are proud to select from the Spokane Chiefs, Berkeley Catton.
This kid's electric. He dominated the WHL this season. Little guy now, 5'10", but man, what a skater, what a playmaker. So it's Beniers right, and now Berkeley Catton up the middle, Meg, for the Seattle Kraken.
I guess that must be a little sister.
I have his analytical comparable as Elias Pettersson.
She couldn't even reach his neck to put her arms around him.
Waits for that extra second to make those plays for developing. Quality entry player, very high in like zone entries, can skate with the puck, high control, attacks to the middle of the ice with speed. A nice player for the Kraken.
You listen to him talk too. He's real smart, bright, and mature.
He is. Personality might be a bit dry. More of a hockey guy. I like that. Someone compared him to Jesper Bratt to me in terms of skill set, and I think that would excite Seattle fans a lot. Again, they need to get more scoring.
Whoa. 54 goals, 62 assists in 68 games.
Firebirds, 2 years, they've been the Calder Cup Finals rather. Ryan Winterden, though, had a breakout year for him.
116 points in 54.
New blood coming into the club.
All this we're saying, Seattle needs offense. They need offense out the right place. Okay?
Yeah, they're definitely gonna get offense of Caton. Wow.
I love the fact that he can generate plays himself.
41 points in over final 22 games. 21 goals, 21 assists.
Would have the opportunity to get multiple viewings. He basically played in their backyard.
And more attributes from him, Meg?
Yeah, so his highlight really
Who's
backs
that
up.
they
That
just
puck
showed?
I
carrier,
think his dad, maybe.
puck on a stick for long stretches of time. Really moves the puck to dangerous areas and can execute those really difficult plays. So you see him hitting his teammate there in front of the net. He's not afraid to make that pass, and that's a very difficult pass to make, and he makes it with ease. So that entry, creating that quality zone entry with speed, that's a shot off the rush and a goal off the rush for Catton. Now you look at his hockey IQ, which kind of goes into that entry and passing element. He's able to find those players, and the puck just seems to fall on his teammates' sticks. He really creates that space around him. He'll be a really great player down the line.
To get down the line, that's a key word. So Seattle continues to play the long, slow game.
Yeah, this is a guy that's 5'10", 5'11". I'm told he's getting stronger. He's played both center and wing. Maybe a first-line wing, maybe a second-line center, exactly like Jesper Bratt. When you talk about Seattle holistically as an organization, I mean, they got Matty Beniers, they put him on stage. That kid's a stud. He's going to need a new contract, we see, and it's going to be expensive. Eli Tobin is also due for one, but they've got to do something at his free agency here because that's
Who's
a
going to
competitive
need a
market,
new contract and it's going to be expensive?
Someone in Seattle.
Who's the Ranger table?
The Calgary Flames.
Somewhere.
Have you seen it? Have they shown it at all?
No, but I know it's there.
I know, but I wasn't paying attention every time they showed the table.
We're back in offset, standing by.
All right, so Greg Conroy and the Flames. Couple of picks here in the first round. Here's their first at 9.
First, I want to thank all the fans, our season ticket members back in Calgary at the original 16 draft party. And the Calgary Flames are proud to select at number 9, the Memorial Cup champs, Saginaw Spirit, Zane Parekh.
Boy, Zane Parekh, maybe the smartest player in the draft, the best defenseman in the O this season.
Mem Cup champion too.
Why is he the smartest player?
Force.
Because he knows how to play the game.
Teams are as scared when he's on the ice as his team is too. So
I guess he's got
defensively,
danger.
a little bit to want, but offensively, absolutely potent. He's an exciting player. He's really a game breaker. He can skate the puck on his stick. It really controls the game. And yeah, there was a Parekh Dickinson
Zane Parekh.
game-off in the World Cup final. I was actually in the arena, and Parekh was just controlling parts of the game. Very offensively gifted.
Very offensively gifted. Shades of the great Erik Karlsson in Parekh's game and his ability to generate offense. He is the type of player that is a must-see player. When you go to watch him live, he'll jump out at you. The Memorial Cup, he was great. They ended up beating London, to your point.
Shout out Saginaw Spirit.
Shout out to the Saginaw Spirit. And I'll tell you a quick story. I landed back in Canada Customs, and one of the customs officials, Weeks, do you know my cousin? No. Who's your cousin? Zane Parekh.
Nice.
Really? I go, really? He goes, yeah. I said, no, he's a stud. He's a stud young player. And he's the type of player that for a team like Calgary, he's exactly what they need.
Yeah.
A young defenseman that's dynamic, that can generate.
Whoa, 96 points. Wow.
Certainly electrify the fans up at the Dome in Calgary.
Graduated high school 2 years early. He's been taking courses at the University of Toronto since he was 15.
Yeah, CHL Defenseman of the Year award. Yeah, no kidding.
I wonder how they have the jersey already with their name on it when they're not even sure.
And now it's the Devil. Interesting position. They're just about ready-made. Disappointing year last year. They get their goalie in Markstrom. What do you do with this pick? You just take best available, just think long-term. You never know, you might lose a guy because you get up to the cap. You can't sign everybody, right? So you need reinforcements. What might Fitzy do for the New Jersey Devils, picking 10th overall?
Who's the guy at the mic? He looks familiar.
New Jersey Devils would like to dedicate today's
Tom Fitzgerald,
to
I
longtime
think.
scout Dirk Grannon's family. Dirk spent 30 years with the organization before passing away in April. I'd like to give a shout out to all our great fans back in Jersey at the Social Base Club. With this pick, I'd like to introduce Hockey Hall of Famer
Marty Brodeur.
Oh, I knew he looked familiar. I couldn't even, I didn't look closely at him.
The New Jersey Devils are proud to select for Pepito Anton Salaya.
Anton Salaya, the 6'7" defenseman who skates very well for a guy his size. Looked good in the KHL last year. can move it a little bit as well. I think this is a perfect pick for a team.
And that was my next best available, so they went with that idea. I mean, puck management, making that simple play, not forcing passes. My analytical comparable is Victor Hedman, so pretty hard to pass up that type of defenseman.
I'll say. There he is, 6'7". So it's Nemitz, Luke Hughes, and now Salaya. They are building a back end.
Yeah, 6'7".
Yeah. John Marino as well. So I'd be curious to see what ends up happening with that.
And he's a defenseman.
Salaya, you get a guy that's 6'7" that skates like he's 5'10". Wow, that's really rare to find. Very mobile, very agile. And for the Devils, when you think of their success,
when we play these guys, we have to get Rumpy to go after this guy.
And of course, the great Scott Niedermeyer and Brian Rafalski and Colin White and some of those other really good standing with these the great Scotty Stevens as well. So now this pick is in. All of our neighbors in Jersey don't have to ask me anymore. What's going on? What are we doing with the overall pick?
It's also nice to sleep at night when you have that defenseman that knows you have it back. Of course, it'd be nice to have Bob Brodeur than at 2 in his prime.
That is
but
fair.
You got the next best thing.
That is fair. I mean, he just covers so much ice. He's rangy, and I'm not going to pretend that he's as defensively sound as a Jay Bouwmeester, but he can kill plays with his size. And the fact that he can contest opposing forwards, he can influence their playmaking decisions with that size and reach and agility. That goes a long way in today's NHL.
It sure is. And they are building a blue line dynasty, as John Rudigras said. It's an interesting time for them, though.
And they announced the first 10, so you're going to take your shower soon?
That didn't go through. They circled back and said the fact that we had 4 goaltending last year.
Usually thought sometime after 9:30 you'd take
I know.
Reese says, no.
Oh, the Sharks are picking again.
When Dougie Hamilton got hurt, you had that LTIR, Brent. They should have gotten Tindy, but I'm glad that they finally got it now.
Oh, the Sharks. Oh, did they get this pick from somebody?
Yeah.
It's time now for the Devils, and I like having Markstrom there, to your point.
Markstrom to be an absolute competitor for them. He's hungry to win. I think he's very focused at this stage of his career. I think your neighbors in New Jersey are going to love him as much as they like a bacon, egg, and cheese. It's better than Taylor Hammer pork roll. That's my hot take being from Montclair. But the Devils are, you mentioned, they are shopping around John Marino right now. I think they have their eyes on free agency where there's a lot of defensemen available, maybe upgrading their blue line. But there's no doubt about it. The Devils cannot have last season happen again. And Thomas Jarls has taken.
They can't let what happen again?
So again, this was the Sabres pick originally. And maybe their thought was, hey, let's move down and maybe pull Yzerman. I could see something like him being taken by the Sabres. Their blue line seems to be somewhat set. I know they'd like something on the right side. But for now, it is the San Jose Sharks, the team that began the proceedings with the first pick, Macklin Celebrini. Mike Ray, we got Will Smith last year, 4th overall, had a big year at Boston College. He's going to step in and turn pro this fall. Celebrini, Smith, they're building around the outside as well. Now they'll make another selection here in 11.
Booyah. Are you saying booyah? What are you saying?
Booyah. Booyah. Give me booyah.
The San Jose Sharks are proud to select from the London Knights of the OHL, Sam Dickinson.
Direction. Tremendous skater, 6'3", so he's bigger than Booyah.
He's nice with it.
Great offensive skills. Two-way defenseman.
And he plays with that puck possession. He skated end-to-end in that Memorial Cup final and scored, and basically was bringing the London Knights back. They lost with 20 seconds left in that game. But Dickinson versus Trek on the ice. My eyes were on Dickinson the whole time, so I'm actually shocked that he went lower.
Wow.
Because he doesn't really have that high octane pushing the puck, but also being responsible. So both ways of the game. This is a great pick, and it's nice that he fell that far, more than to grab him. It's interesting, one of the things that Mike Greer says he wants to get this offseason is a power play quarterback, and a lot of times last year they were only using 5 forwards, and they just didn't have someone to direct it. Meg, is this someone who could do that in the future? Oh, absolutely. And he's that type of player that you build teams around. The London Knights are not only a historic group, they're a group that runs like an NHL team, so you already know that he's prepared.
I'll say it. I've been in the league 30 years. I'll say it.
The Hunters are some of the best hockey lines in all of hockey. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them ends up in the NHL next year.
That's a good frame,
But
too.
Dickinson,
10 more
he has that skating ability. Look at this end-to-end, right? Takes the puck, he's comfortable with it, he finds the space and time, he can make those passes, give and go right in the back of the net. So Dickinson driving that play in that transition, really heads-up play, smart hockey. The Hunters are well-coached the nights too, so they're able to play that fast and loose, but still be defensively responsible. He knows what he has to do in this scenario. He's able to defend accordingly, keep possession of that puck, get some contact, and keep going. And that's what you got to do in the NHL. So he's prepared for this level of the game. And the Sharks getting the first overall pick, and now Dickinson, it's already a slam dunk for them.
Listen, I'm a product of Toronto, and it's the best minor hockey system in the world, the best minor hockey league in the world. And Dickinson, I've heard from a lot of my buddies back home for years, this guy is the next guy in defense. This guy's the next guy in defense. And he's been all of that, and he certainly was all of that in London at this point. And I think it's really good value here for the San Jose Sharks. I think we're splitting between either William and him. They couldn't go wrong. Dickinson's a great selection for them.
There's paper.
They heard me.
Yeah, we have a trade, I believe. Yeah, so we're
Oh, what's gonna happen?
And what the price was to get this 12th overall selection. So Gary Bettman making the way to the podium. We need to hear the trade horn. And here's Gary Bettman at the podium now. Yeah, he's getting a hand up. Wait for the trade horn, Mr. Commissioner. Big moment coming.
Where's the
Draft
trade
history
horn?
about to be made. The first trade horn.
Oh, there it is. What's the trade?
As you can tell, we have a trade. Philadelphia trades pick number 12 in the 2024
To the Wild.
NHL Draft to Minnesota in exchange for Minnesota's own first-round pick number 13 and Minnesota's own third-round pick in 2025.
Ooh.
12 for 13 and a third next year.
So the Flyers obviously had no one specific in mind.
Minnesota, you're on the clock.
Only moved out
Is Matt there?
the spot, and they gained a third. And
Matt?
we saw Bill Garrett the other night.
Zuccarello.
No, he's a player, not management.
I know, but I thought sometimes, sometimes they have players there.
No.
But maybe they didn't see that 12th pick being that guy. They're okay with a few players.
Didn't some of the people...
Back in? Come on, Weeksy.
Oh,
Weeksy.
that'd be
Are
sick.
you back yet?
Say again?
Are you back?
I'm all the way back.
Only two of them.
So the Wild give up a 3 to move up one spot. Billy Garrett.
Oh, they only move up one spot?
Yeah.
The Wild's first selection of the 2024 draft here at Sphere, Las Vegas.
This place is pretty cool. Thanks for a great week, Vegas. The Minnesota Wild are proud to select from the University of Denver, Z.
Booyah.
Electric D-man, big-time offensive player, just won a natty at Denver. He will run an NHL power play. And it's a high IQ. To see this guy in person, as me and Colby Cohen did last year at the Frozen Four, just electric. And he's like a big-time player. End of the game, he wants to
Jeez.
And you're moving up because you're hearing rumblings that William is
Whether
going
that's
at
short
number
for
12 if you don't
something.
make that trade.
Jeez.
Possession, influences that pace of play. Great decision-making and puck control. When I watch it...
He won gold in the World Junior Hockey Championship for U.S.
Oh, he's a goalie?
No.
Oh.
Skating. Lets him back
Oh, you said one goal. I thought you said goal.
Join as a second wave. Has a lot of that hockey IQ of when to come in and when to dip out. So, nice, well-rounded player. Very good ad for Minnesota. They clearly got their guy. They wanted him.
He does remind me of Fox, who was like a playmaker from the point. Not so much goals, but almost like an extra center at that blue line.
That's exactly right. You know what? When you've got young players that want the smoke,
He wants
the smoke. And he knows that playing for Dave Carl, University of Denver, and what they've been able to accomplish. He knows that playing nationally for Team USA, internationally, I should say. All things being equal, this is a guy that wants the puck on his tape. And what a compliment to add to what
Who's that?
the favorite
Oh, that was a clip
in
from
Minnesota, in the land of 10,000 lakes, and now you get
I thought it was somebody sitting there in the stadium.
No.
Dressed.
San Diego, California. Shut up. Of course, his brother Shai's #1 pick of the Detroit Red Wings.
Yes.
He's bigger, different kind of demon.
Yeah.
This show has become like the Bouillon Brand. Good reason why. I had a chance to meet him at the Stanley Cup Final. I know you did 2 weeks. Electric personality. He actually was hanging out with Macklin Celebrini that night, and they were ribbing each other, chirping back and forth. A ton of chemistry, but his play on the ice is really why we're all fans here. I mean, look at those numbers.
It's a huge number for defense.
For an NCAA D-man,
college hockey, 18.
that's unreal.
Yeah, I know. I know. I know.
He has the puck on his tape. And that's why you mentioned Adam Fox. Living in the Metro New York area primarily for us, seeing Adam Fox play at the Garden, the way he's able to shake off defenders, zero panic, no matter who's on the forecheck, and make plays at the offensive blue line, he has a lot in this game.
Well, it's nice too because he can play in all situations, even straight, power play, penalty kill. Minnesota's going, great, we need you.
We have a special guest to make our selection. Proud Philly native and Hall of Fame announcer, boxing announcer, Michael Buffer.
Oh, this guy.
He's the one who said, "Let's get ready to
Yep,
rumble."
it is. Will he say that here?
What? I don't know. What's his name?
Michael Buffer.
This year's season, playoffs, and the fantastic 7-game World Championship Stanley Cup Final was a magnificent display of the excitement and talent that is the National Hockey League. Now, it's an honor for me to be a part of this year's draft, and as a born and raised Philadelphian, for me it is a thrill to announce this next selection for my hometown, Philadelphia Flyers. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's
get ready to rumble. He said the thing.
pick in the first round. The city of brotherly love welcomes the Philadelphia Flyers selection. Weighing in officially at 187 pounds, standing tall at 5 feet 11, from the Guelph Storm, he is Jed Luchenko!
He has to say the ready to rumble thing. Because some
Yeah,
people,
you can't have him there without saying
but
that.
not only that, some people just by seeing him wouldn't know who he was. But once he says that, that's his trademark.
Yeah.
And he is that playmaking, finding passing lanes to scoring areas in the offensive zone and setting up teammates. Dangerous too, he creates a lot of offense in transition and off the rush. My analytical comparable is Nick Suzuki. So a bit of that 200-foot game, engaging in all aspects defensively and with that anticipation and reading all situations. It's a great pick.
I like the pick. This is a really good, steady offensive player that's not going to wow you, but is going to make plays. And I like the comparable of Nick Suzuki. Yeah. Played for the Guelph Storm as well, the captain of the Montreal Canadiens, multi-time All-Star. Just shift to shift, game to game, Suzuki makes the right plays.
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
All time.
Absolutely, absolutely. So,
This is a good, solid pick here. Saw his combine numbers. He's already at a young age. He's got a frame of an NHL player.
Big time.
Although it's not lost on me.
They haven't had any goalies yet, have they?
Not yet.
The OHL most sportsman-like player.
There you go.
So, nice guy too. Nice guy, tries hard, skates well. I think that'll do okay with John Tortorella. He likes to be in his game, but he also doesn't like guys in the penalty box.
He was the
Coach for the
coach
Devils
for the Devils, and when did they get rid of him?
this past season.
After the
But in the middle of the season.
after the regular season, or
Well, before that.
Oh.
And now he's going back to Buffalo.
So Buffalo picked him up like in the off season?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool, same stage as Celine Dion.
What did he say?
Celine Dion.
With the 14th pick overall, the Buffalo Sabres would like to select from the Finnish Men's League, Konsta Helenius.
I like this young man. He's exciting to watch.
He is a nice player. And I mean, going back to that Celine Dion reference, like, how amazing was it that she showed up, though? She showed up in every NHL team
Little
last
brother.
year. She was in the Bruins locker room.
Big brother.
Big brother.
This kid, Ole Jokinen, said he can play in the NHL next year. Now, I don't think that's
Sister.
for him, but
He was the middle kid.
Finnish countryman, and I've heard he's a very skilled guy. You know, it's interesting those comments I just said by Kevin Adams. Megan, do you feel like he fits into that identity? I think he's a great player for them, and I'll give you a couple fun stats from the Under-18 World Championship. Both possession time and shot assists, so passes that led to shot attempts, he led the tournament. So he's creating a lot of offense with that zone entry level, looking to carry the puck into the zone, creating offense, high controlled entry rate analytically, and creates off the rush for himself by carrying the puck, so he can skate with the puck on his stick, and he has that calm confidence with high hockey IQ.
That Finnish top league is a very difficult league to play in.
Very skilled.
Very skilled league. And for a young player to play in that league and do what he was able to do, very, very impressive. And he looked very comfortable. Speaking to people in Finland, they said that he didn't defer. He was very assertive when he had the puck, very respectful of the veteran players. But he really asserted himself.
And a physical game, like you mentioned, we see 36 points in 51 games, and the average a point per game in the postseason.
That's impressive, man.
But his highlights are fun to watch.
Very fun to watch. And
Seems like they were only Leah Hextall was only interviewing the people who were in the top 10.
just look at how
I
composed he
haven't
is.
seen her
Stop
interview
up on the
anybody
dime,
in
fade
a
away,
while.
Yet.
take the shot yourself with the high slot.
Really
In the
able
beginning,
to read
though,
those
it
plays
seemed like she
and
was
create
interviewing
turnovers.
every
I mean,
new
kind of
person
right
that
place,
came
right time,
along.
but
Yeah.
that's hockey IQ, right? You're there because you know that the play is going to develop. He's able to read it and reciprocate. So Kevin Adams also told me he loves their D4 right now, and he's trying to change the makeup of this roster. Obviously, they need to make the playoffs right now. It is absolutely crucial for their franchise.
Why is
Looking to make more hockey
tough
trades, but
finish
also
forward?
they've got some high-end prospects
Kako,
in their system right now.
Anton Lundell, Joakim Camo, and Konsta Helenius.
Who? Tom
There's Chris Knobloch behind him.
There's Draper, there's Steve Eisman on the right, Nick Lidstrom on the left.
Knobloch isn't on the Red Wings?
No, but he's in the Oilers.
Why would he be with the Red Wings?
He's not with the Red Wings, he's behind them.
Oh, that was the next table over?
The 15th overall pick of the 2024 NHL Draft. And I really hope Eiserman selects Eiserman.
Yeah, the pick is in by the team that deserved to face us in the first round over the Capitals.
Why?
The Detroit Red Wings like to say a shout out to all our fans back at Hockeytown at Little Caesars Arena at our watch party. To make our first selection tonight, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, 7-time Norris Trophy winner, Hockey Hall of Famer, and Vice President of Hockey Operations, Nick Lidstrom.
Nick Lidstrom!
With the 15th overall pick, the Detroit Red Wings are proud to present from Mora of Hockeyallsvenskan, Michael Brandtzæg Nygaard.
The first Norwegian ever selected in the first round.
What did I tell you about the Americans? What did I tell you about Steve Eisman?
Another year missing the playoffs.
This historic selection right here.
Yes.
Historic selection. Congrats to him.
First player born in Norway to be selected in the first round.
Really?
Wow.
I thought they said Sweden. Oh, but I guess he was born in Norway and moved to Sweden.
Yeah, wow. The first ever Norwegian player to be selected in the first round.
First Norwegian born player.
Yeah, but either way, That's definitely a historic one.
Pure offensive guy. He gets to the heart of the ice to make plays to complement his skill set.
You would think that they would have a lot of players from Norway because it's right up there next to Sweden and one country over from Finland. And Sweden and Finland have tons and tons of hockey players. But Norway doesn't have a lot, even though it's right next door.
Yeah. Well, now they got more with Nygaard.
For the Detroit Red Wings, they have some really good young players in their group. Be it Mo Sider, be it Lucas Raymond, who popped this year. They also have Simon Edmondson on defense down in Grand Rapids, who should be up with the Wings. I like the
hyphenated last name.
We were all surprised when he took Mo Sider when he did, and everyone's like, what a crazy pick, and look how that one turned out. You know, you mentioned Simon Edmondson. At the end of last season, I had a bunch of those Red Wing games, and it was so clear that he had over-seasoned at that point in the AHL. He's not going back. He's in Motown for the good right now. And they made a really
it says Oslo, Norway. On the side it says Sweden, and he played in a Swedish league, I guess. Maybe Norway doesn't have its own
and it's clear to open up a spot on the blue line for Edmondson, maybe some other prospects as well as cap space.
Trade to our guests.
He's an announcer.
They will pick next here at Sphere. There's Macklin
Here come the Blues.
It sounds like his name is transposed.
Looks like Doug Armstrong and the Blues will head to the podium and make their pick. Remember, they moved up here as they try to retool this organization. Keep adding to it. Who's the player on the board that has caught their eye? The pick is in for St. Louis.
St. Louis Blues are pleased to select defenseman Adam Juracek, HC Select.
Oh, Adam Juracek.
Adam Juracek, of course, brother David was drafted a high draft pick on the Columbus Blue Jackets. What kind of players is David's brother?
Well, my player comparable is a Brodin. Tough distribution, reach the ice well, leading a high pass completion rate. He was actually injured during the World Juniors. Hasn't played since December knee surgery, so that could be a little bit of why he's at this level of the draft. Didn't quite get enough viewing of him, but he's consistently in those good positions, defending, and his speed really allows him to keep up with opponents, making great puck management, smart plays with the puck, and focuses on those simple plays on exits. So you're not worried when you're watching him. You know, it's a calm comfort. He's moving the puck up the ice. He's able to be that type of role player.
I look at him as a mature defenseman beyond his years. And the fact that he played with men in Czechia's top league, he looked very comfortable in doing so. And we know D outside of goaltending is the toughest for young players to make that transition. And he made that great shot there. He made that transition look somewhat effortless, quite frankly. So that's what really impressed me about him. And we've got a lot of high-end offensive defensemen. Not saying he doesn't have skill, but Meg, to your point, he's a very steady defenseman.
I wonder if he knows Yager.
Certainly the right-handed shot is always an asset. Obviously, by the looks up there, he needs to smash a few more ribeyes and chicken parm to add some LBs, but good frame. You saw some of the physical hit he's delivering, good stick there. And so it's Adam Juracek, Czechia, who is the selection of the St. Louis Blues. His mom, what an emotional night for these parents. We've seen it multiple times. Boy, that blue note. That blue note, you cannot beat that logo, man. It's sweet, man. Look at that thing.
What? Blue note?
Beautiful. So there it is. Brother David, the Columbus Blue Jacket, went 6th overall. And there's Adam, 16th overall. So we saw the Bouillon brothers tonight. Now the Juracek brothers also hit the show. This Capitals made their way into the playoffs. Spencer Carberry, what a job he did for the Caps. Thought he could have been coach of the year. Just what a great young hockey mind the Capitals have.
I don't know. The Capitals.
Of their franchise history, they're aging. Alex Ovechkin is going for an iconic record. You have to manage that. So let's see what the Washington Capitals decide to do with this 17th selection.
With the 17th selection, Washington picks Tarek Perzak from Prince George in the Western Hockey League.
Another Western Hockey League player we've seen.
Yeah, they like him out there. And if you're willing to play, a lot of scouts tell me, if you're willing to play at Prince George, like Dustin Bufflin was, among others, you're committed to the game, because that's way north in BC. So, hey, listen, at this
It's way far out of what?
DC.
What District of Columbia?
They
No,
had 105
DC.
points. He's an offensive player.
No, DC would be Washington, DC.
Yeah, he's selected by the Capitals.
That are offensive players.
I
They
see.
need to add and supplement their lineup, especially in the absence and now the retirement.
No, he said if you're willing.
Oh, what?
What?
Nicholas Backstrom's retired.
Oh yeah. And then he said you're willing to play for Prince George. That's way out of DC.
Yeah.
That's nowhere near. It's in Canada. It's not even in the United States.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good one.
Very good. Very, very good. But at the same time, you need to grow into that.
Right.
So there's elements of his game that will have to progress to be point. It's fascinating how quickly, Lacey just mentioned Nicholas
Pretty
Backstrom.
short compared to all
It's
of
been for so
them.
long, by the way, that their number one objective and only objective as an organization was to get Obi this goal record. But it's so clear that Brian McClellan, their GM, is like, no,
Led
you can win while doing
WHL
it and reach on the fly. Again, you mentioned
43
Backstrom.
goals.
They
Wow.
transitioned to a young center core
Second
that now
in
has
assists,
Pierre-Luc Dubois, Dylan
62.
Strome, Hendrik Lapierre, Marvin Michael, all between the ages of 22 and 27.
Yeah.
Not bad. Now, they're taking some flyers here.
Right.
They're still waiting to hear from TJ Oshie on his health, if he'll be able to return next season. But based on some of the trades that they've made, specifically Mangiapane, I get the
They're
sense
waiting
that
to
they're
hear
planning
from
for life
TJ
without
Oshie about what?
And this is part of the new wave that they're bringing in.
Wait, Mangiapane? Wait, the Capitals have on Andrew Mangiapane now?
Just got into the playoffs. Like everything went right at the end of the season for them to
Why?
make
Where
it.
was
So
he?
The Flames.
I guess they made a trade.
I didn't hear about it till now. Wonder what they gave up.
They have 5 picks in the top 100. So this is an important draft for the
Who
Capitals.
would have
The Capitals.
As they age out a little bit and try to bring in new high-end talent. A little bit of movement at the Blackhawk table, but looks like just sitting still. And now they're going to make the move up. So they were just kind of waiting to get the cue from the
What number are we up to?
in-house people
18.
here, Sphere and the NHL. And so Kyle Davidson will head to the podium and make their second selection of the evening. Who will be the latest building block in this long road back to Stanley Cup contender. Second first-round pick of the Blackhawks. The pick is in.
This probably isn't going to end until like around 2 o'clock, right?
2 o'clock? No.
Well, if we're only up to 18 out of 32, that's only a little bit halfway through.
Yeah, but we can fast forward.
They try to add more skill around their centerpiece, Connor Bedard.
And my comparable is Evgeny Malkin. So
But the only question now is that will we be able to make it to the end of the draft before the recording stops?
Didn't I add on time?
Yes, but only 15 minutes.
Oh, really? I guess because with the draft, I always thought it ends on time. It's not like a game.
No.
It's not like a game.
No, it never usually finishes on time.
College hockey fans, you see right there, committed to play there.
What time did it start? 7?
Yes.
College
Oh,
hockey,
so it's
point per
over
game
now.
last year.
Can't add
Yeah.
on time now. I didn't
I tried to add time, but it wouldn't let me.
Because they got a guy that has a lot of upside.
So what? How much time do we have left on this recording?
A few minutes left.
No, just press pause.
But what would be enough though? Because there was only 2 hours of the first half.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And look, and his role model is Evgeny Malkin. So, kind of a tall, rangy kid.
Yes. Absolutely. And I'll say this
I
too.
didn't
I
think
hope a lot
about
of
the
people
fact that they
recognize
sometimes have
we often
not
talk about
stoppages,
which I'm a product of, of course.
but delays, like when they
USHL
trade or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I always add on time to most things, but games I add on the 2 hours.
Well, you did add time, but not enough.
Well, I only usually add on 15 minutes when, just in case, because I figure it's going to end on time pretty much.
No.
But they know that they're in on everything for sure. They're
Are you
always
going
very
to
focused.
his after party? I saw the sign for the Logan Thompson after draft party.
LT, I won't be there unless I'm on payroll. I paid for a very expensive dinner last night at Barry's. I paid for the very expensive dinner at Barry's last night.
That was good.
The pick is in for the home team here in Las Vegas. The Vegas Golden Knights.
The Vegas Golden Knights, with the 19th selection of the 2024 Amateur Draft, are proud to select from Tri-Cities of the USHL, Trevor Connolly.
So again, this is a fearless
Finally,
organization.
Connolly got selected.
They are here to win, and
Was
Trevor
he supposed to
Connolly
be in the top
is their
10 or
selection
something?
here in the first round.
Around that.
Fantastic pick. I mean, take off the off-ice issues. On ice, Connolly is an absolute stud. And I know some teams were scared of picking him, but he's an incredibly dynamic player. When I watched the U18 tournament, he was on fire. Like, you could not watch him when he had the puck on his stick. He was dictating the style of play. Really great vision, sees the ice so well, sets up his teammates for chances, and has a confidence about him that you just can't learn. Very dominant, dynamic, great puck transporter ability, quality zone entry player, and generates a lot of high rate of offense. So for the Vegas Golden Knights, this is a steal. Honestly, this is my steal of the draft.
Instant offense. Very electrifying player.
We could
Very
record
dynamic
whatever
Becky
show is
touched
on
some
right
of the
now,
challenges.
and that.
No, it's already done.
Had some challenges as youngsters.
What's on now is
Yeah,
done.
what? That was long after the draft finished.
The draft would have ended at 10.
It's past. It's almost 12 right now.
I know.
The thing is done.
But I know, but if it goes over, then something that was listed as one thing becomes something else.
But it's not gonna go over an hour.
Islanders last drafted in the first round, 2019. Simon Holmstrom, who's turned into a good player. Got him 23rd overall, and here comes
Xander's Lee.
to the stage. You got to think of a call.
Yeah.
Forward. They need young skill.
But is that New York Islanders hockey?
I know.
I mean, we talked about the Vegas Golden Knights mortgaging their future. Noah Dobson and Oliver Wahlstrom are the only other Lou Lamoriello first-round picks on that team besides Wahlstrom that you mentioned. It's interesting with this pick with the Blackhawks too, because they got an extra second rounder in it. A lot of people think they're going to use that real leverage for a trade, so we'll see what comes later.
Thank all our fans back at the various draft parties back on Long Island. Thank you again. Accompanying me here is our Director of Scouting, Trent Platt, and to make our pick, our Captain Anders Lee.
The New York Islanders are proud to select Cole Eiserman.
There's Cole Eiserman.
Finally, it seems like he was up there for a long time.
But why does he have to go to the Islanders?
Why, is he really good?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you should have been picked higher.
Physical, they like that element, but Eiserman's the exact opposite. That's actually one of his problems, is people are worried about his defensive game, how he'll perform at that. But my thing is, I think that's kind of lazy, because in the program, he's not really meant to be defensive in his spot. When I watched him at the U18s, his teammates were all looking for him. He's that one shot, he takes the one time.
Oh my God, the thing that he said was against Jews, like, or it was a Jewish slur. He said he took a picture and put it on Snapchat of a friend posing in front of a collection of building blocks formed in the shape of a swastika.
Yikes.
You need to score goals.
You need the
That's
pump.
not my line.
You need the pump in Long Island.
I talked to some people, exactly. I talked to some people, you don't know, what don't you know? Look at the record goal scoring guy. This guy has that natural goal scoring and shooting ability, finish rates that you talked about. And boy, oh boy, is that what the New York
He was also, that was a different thing. He was also accused of making a racial slur during a game in 2021.
Go make plays. And I love Patrick Waugh, the head coach there. He did a great job getting into the playoffs.
But they were unable to corroborate what happened.
So I think it's on his way to Boston University.
Yeah.
He disputed that slur
When you're looking
allegation.
at this highlight reel, you can see just a natural goal scorer. He's able to carry the puck. He finds that space. He's very comfortable. One shot, top of the net. And on the power play too, they'll fit it really nicely, being able to get that one-timer, get that quick shot off, find the back of the net with ease. And I saw like the best celebration. I think it was like an 8-1 game. He still did a full celly, so I don't want to say typical American Bucci, but he's got the pizzazz.
If Celebrini does decide to go to San Jose and turn pro, this is their in-house replacement right here. That'd be you.
Maybe he'll play with them.
Or maybe he will. I see what you're lobbying for, Bucci.
So here come the Canadians, heading to the podium for their second first-round pick, 21st overall. Nashville is on deck.
Les Canadiens de Montréal sont très fiers de sélectionner from the Chicago Steel in USHL, Michael Hage.
Michael Hage.
Oh, yeah.
Won the E.J. McGuire Award last night at the awards. I presented that too. This young man lost his father recently.
Oh, he won the Tobey Maguire Award.
It's been a challenge for him at a young age.
Oh, it was in the show we saw
Wow,
yesterday?
well, pretty much. He wasn't on stage, but they were talking about him.
What is the Tobey Maguire Award?
I think MVP of the CHL or something like that. I don't remember, but Connor Bedard won it last year
Okay.
before coming to the NHL, and now Michael Hage won it.
Nice. Another college player went to North Dakota. He's on his way to Michigan.
When you talk about the character of this kid, he was playing far from home, and his agency asked, do you want to go closer to home? And he said, no, I want to stick it out with my team, and then had an unbelievable year. So characters off the charts here. The guys that he works with say it's one of the most rewarding players that they've gotten to work with. And Montreal must be ecstatic because they're just adding so many young, dynamic players to this organization. They're still in their rebuild.
Oh, I thought he was really tall, but he was standing on the steps.
Playoff next season.
That's a real, very extraordinary young man. Interesting player with an interesting Canadian connection, Leah.
That he does. His favorite team growing up was the Montreal Canadiens, and that is because of his dad. His dad's favorite player was Maurice Richard, and Michael grew up wearing number 9. He had to change it when he went to the Chicago Steel to number 19 because of Van Tilly. But this will be a dream come true for Michael as he goes to his and his father's
I think that's
favorite
the one they call Rocket Richard, right?
Yeah, long arms.
Yeah.
Another one of these higher-end offensive players. And again, as mentioned, I don't want to be on repeat, but you see where he plays, Chicago Steel.
Yeah.
You see the league he plays in.
USHL.
Yeah, and he's going to University of Michigan, which is also a factory as well at University of Michigan. And one of the things when you're in good programs is you have the resources that are there to facilitate your
You
development.
also have great coaching, and I think that helps tailor you to play in the
For
NHL.
sure.
USHL 4 straight picks now in this 2024 draft. The Nashville Predators on the clock. On deck, Maple Leafs, then Avalanche, and then Brooklyn. As the Nashville Predators, Barry Trotz. Orson Barry said, you guys...
Does the NHL symbol always have that dot inside the end?
You take swings. Yep.
I never noticed that
You
before.
think maybe take
When
a
they
risk.
just showed that NHL sign, it had a dot
I
in the
missed
middle of
it.
the end.
Their kind of retool is
That
ahead of
looks
schedule.
weird.
They had a big season. Andrew Burnett did a great job. My buddy there, their head coach.
Oh, Barry Trotz.
Yep.
Huge year for Yossi, of course, and Forsberg. But some of the younger guys really made big strides this year in Nashville as well.
So the pick is in for the Nashville Predators, who apparently maybe their young goalie prospect also is on the market. Emily will kind of give us kind of the latest.
They still haven't picked a goalie, have they?
No.
I'd like to give a shout out to the great fans in Smashville watching today. Secondary, we have a retiring scout in Glenn Sanders, and I want to thank him for his 20 years of dedication and loyalty. One of the best,
Is that middle guy the one who's really tall? Is he a former player?
I don't know.
Thank you. To make our pick, Assistant General Manager Jeff Kelty.
Jeff Kelsey. He looks very tall.
Nashville Predators select from Yaroslav Lokomotiv, Yegor Surin.
Yegor Surin. What do you have?
You're going to like this one.
All right.
Surin's NHL comparable by analytics is none other than Sam Bennett.
We go.
Let's go. Vision, she's packing
Smashville.
wins. Exactly. Puck support, high involvement player across
Sam
all
Bennett,
zones.
he was on Edmonton, right?
No,
Oh,
the
Florida?
Panthers.
What?
The Panthers.
I knew he was in the game, the last series we watched.
Willingness to be involved physically. We'll be good in the NHL, we'll be good with National.
I agree with that. And the fact that he's a Russian European-born player, but he plays a bit of a North American upbringing game, has that jam to him, that I'm sure had a big hand in then selecting him, because yes, we know the skill set and all that are there, but the fact that he has that sandpaper to his game, that's a great sign for the Preds.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team right now that is trying to rebuild its identity, and they took a huge step forward this year, as you mentioned, with Andrew Burnett as the coach, a lot of young players stepping up. Let's be honest, though, they had one very hot streak, and that's what saved their season. You know, which you mentioned off the top, because of this USASAR's extension, a lot of teams called immediately about Yaroslav Askarov, and I was wondering, is that something that would go down tonight? I just talked to somebody who would be in the market for a goalie, and he said asking price is crazy right now. So I don't think it's something that would go down tonight, but maybe later in the summer. And they've got some things to do this summer. They freed up some cap space with Ryan McDonough. He was second on the team in ice time to Roman Josi. So you're thinking they're probably going to get some kind of defensive replacement there.
Ryan
And yet to send
McDonough.
Barry Trotz, now that he's
Where is
into
he
his
now? He
second
just
year
got
as the
traded,
GM of
didn't
this
he?
team,
Yeah, to the
is ready to put his
Lightning.
stamp and make some moves.
Yeah, he's a heat-seeking missile, this dude.
Yeah.
I mean, Smashville's going to love.
Oh, yeah.
He was on Tampa Bay?
He is on Tampa Bay.
What was he on that on
Very
before
young.
that?
He's still
The
17.
Predators.
Doesn't turn 18 until August 1st. One of the youngest players in the draft. Barely make it in this year's
And before
draft.
that, he was on the Blues, right?
No, the
Future
Lightning.
national partner.
Oh, he went from the
Trade alert. Trade alert.
Oh, here we go.
Who doesn't love a good trade alert, Gordon?
They might think it's a Mitch Marner trade.
Toronto trades pick number 23 in this year's draft to Anaheim in exchange for picks 31 and 58, both in this year's draft as well. Toronto 23 to Anaheim for 31 and 58. Anaheim, you're on the clock.
So it seems to be the going rate for flipping in the first round is a third so far. Pat Verbeek has identified a player he would like now.
So Anaheim moving up, identifying somebody. That somebody will be announced now. The pick is in for the Ducks.
Making our next selection is a man that has shown our organization great inspiration, has shown us also what courage is all about. A man who shows us every day what a great positive attitude can change things. It's a man that's beaten pancreatic cancer. Making our selection is Sudarshan Maharaj.
The Anaheim Ducks are proud to select from Norway, Steen Solberg.
Yes, but I said during the break, maybe they'll take the other Norwegian, the second Norwegian player taken. I smell a horn coming.
We're getting good use out of that. Colorado trades pick number 24 in this year's draft to Utah for picks number 38 and 71 in this year's draft, and the New York Rangers second round pick in 2025, which was previously acquired by Utah. So Colorado trades 24 this year's draft to Utah for 38 and 71, and the Rangers second round pick in 2025, which Utah previously acquired. Utah, you are on the clock.
The story's in Utah, Frank. Here comes Bill Armstrong leading the charge. They're always color coordinated some way, and this year it's the blue tie, the Utah color. Remember last year in Nashville, they had all the same colored suits. So who will Utah identify, and maybe still a pick from a team that was about to pick, like Boston?
Utah
selects from Barrie of the OHL, Cole Boudouin.
Yeah.
I think the Bruins had their eye on this guy.
I do too.
And so that's why they made this move to get in front of Boston.
Yeah.
I want to thank our Boston fans for their support, and with our pick in the first round, our director of amateur scouting, Ryan Nadeau.
The Boston Bruins are proud to select from St. Andrews College, Dean Letourneau.
All right, Jay Billis, I got your wingspan right here.
Yes.
This selection will be first time that new draft picks wear our new jersey. And Mark Giannetti, the head of scouting, will be making the announcement.
What about New Jersey?
With the 26th pick, the Los Angeles Kings select from the Windsor Spitfires, Liam Greentree.
The captain of the
Who is he
Windsor
talking about New Jersey?
I don't know.
Assists and points. Power forward man.
My NHL comparable is Timo Meyer.
Yeah.
Ball carrying, transports the puck in the defensive zone into the offensive zone, creating offense. Really high control entry rate if you look at it, him analytically. Attacks that offensive zone line with speed and really finds that space and time. So you're getting a lot of offense. Greentree just has that maturity too, coming in from the OHL. A nice player.
Where's number 66? And the reason being, he wore 6 in favor of his older brother. He wore number 6, that was his older brother's number. He got to Windsor, 6 wasn't available. So he took 66, and he said on the record, he knows he's not going to wear that at the NHL level, out of respect for the great Mario Lemieux. Right. But nonetheless, that's his junior number. And I got to tell you, this guy, power forward, skill, engine, he was really impressive for the Windsor Spitfires this season.
And a tight jacket.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Talked about your comparison, Timo
Must
Meyer.
have been really fitted in the arms, because he really had trouble getting it off.
This was a kid who was a captain at 17 years old, and they fired their coach halfway through the season, and the agency asked, do you want out? Do you want to switch? And he said, no, I want to be part of the solution, and I think that tells you what type of kid they're getting here. But someone who's a power forward, like you said, Megan, knows how to produce, but has some
He
skill.
wants to be part of the solution.
Look, these are hard guys to find. And when you can get big, rangy, skilled forwards that you can incorporate into your group, that have the talent, that have the high hockey IQ to make plays, these are the guys that can shine and come through the fore in the postseason.
To make plays that he can score. He led the OHL in goals by a rookie last season, so you need scorers too.
Love the new Kings since the Gretzky era.
You think heavy players, you think an LA King. He seems like a quintessential LA King.
Yeah.
Oh, now there's a trade. And we more likely won't know what it is.
The trade. Let me thank everyone who's in attendance.
Now the Blackhawks have it.
Attendance is 14,220, which is a sellout for this event.
Wow, full house.
Give yourselves a hand. Carolina.
Now there's the home.
Okay. Carolina trades the 27th pick in this year's draft to Chicago.
Now we'll never know what they traded. Of course we couldn't. We couldn't find out what the Hurricanes, who the Hurricanes drafted.
Well, you can look it up online.
Obviously, but I shouldn't have to. We're supposed to see it in the draft. Oh, okay. So the pick from the Blackhawks they got from Carolina is number 27 is Marek Vanacker.
The city budget includes an expansion of
that name.
Yeah, and then the number 28 is the Calgary Flames, and they selected Matvei Gridin.
Okay, I remember that name too.
Yeah. Then 29 is the Dallas Stars, and they selected Emil Hemmen.
Okay.
And for the Rangers, we've selected E.J. Emery.
Oh, I remember that name.
Yeah. And
who was E.J. Emery? What
a defenseman.
Okay.
And then the Leafs got the Ducks pick from earlier, and with the 31 pick, the Leafs selected Ben Danford.
Okay.
And last but not least, the Flyers traded their pick, the final first round pick, to the Oilers.
Okay. And what did they
Hold on. Let me see. Let me look at the trades real quick. The Hurricanes' first round pick went to the Blackhawks in a trade that sent a second round pick and the Islanders' second round pick to the Hurricanes. So the Blackhawks got a pick from the Islanders when the Islanders traded down, and then they traded it to the Hurricanes.
Okay.
And then the Panthers' first round pick went to the Oilers as the result of a trade on today that sent a conditional first round pick in 2025 to Philadelphia for the pick. And with the final pick in the first round, the Oilers selected Sam O'Reilly.
Okay. I don't remember that name.
Well, his name was there.
Okay. So we got E.J. Emery, and he's a defenseman?
Yeah.
So what did they tell you anything about him?
I'm looking it up. Okay, so for the past season, he got 16 assists.
But he's a defenseman?
Yeah.
Okay.
No
Where's he playing?
In the USA team.
USA Hockey League or something?
Or a development team or something like that.
Okay. How old is he and how tall is he?
I don't know.
Oh, it doesn't give you his stats there?
Oh, there it is. There it is. 6'3".
Okay.
The mayor and city council reach a more than $112 billion budget deal for the...
Well, at least if he's a good defenseman.
Oh, and he models his game after Keandre Miller.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty much all I can find, but he's pretty decent.
Yeah. Is he in college right now?
Around that.
Oh, you said he was in the U.S. Hockey League.
Or something, the development team or something like that. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
I wish we would have seen it at the draft, but still an interesting draft.